This could be the beginning of a shift that no one in Los Angeles is ready to accept. And it all started with something that, for many, seemed small, but could cost a lot. What's up, Lakers Nation? This is Samir. And what's happening with Luka Doncic right now goes far beyond a simple one-game suspension. Because when you look at it from the outside, it seems like just another technical foul. But when you step into the context, you begin to understand that something much bigger is forming behind the scenes. Before the game, J.J. Redick was direct. No drama, no exaggeration. He made it clear that Luka is frustrated, that he wants to be on the court, that he wants to play with the team. And that says a lot, because we're talking about a player who simply doesn't accept being out. A guy who plays through injuries, who pushes his body, who competes in any situation. And then we go back to that moment. Game against the Brooklyn Nets, heated atmosphere, high intensity, Luka involved in a direct exchange with Zaire Williams. The tension builds, emotions rise, and in a matter of seconds, everything explodes. The officials call the technical, number 16, and at that exact moment, the consequence was already defined. Automatic suspension. But here's the point no one is talking about. This is not just about a technical foul. This is about the wear and tear of a player who is carrying much more than it seems. Because when you look at what Luka has been doing over the past few weeks, it's absurd. He's averaging 36.5 points, 8.1 rebounds, 7.1 assists, nearly 50% shooting, nearly 40% from three, and a team that has won 14 of the last 16 games. That's not just consistency, that's dominance. That's MVP level. But even with all of that, the narrative doesn't follow, and that starts to weigh on him. Because while he delivers historic performances, the recognition doesn't come in the same proportion. And maybe that's exactly what is starting to show on the court, not as a lack of control, but as the reflection of someone who's reaching his limit. And that's where this story stops being simple and starts becoming dangerous for the Lakers. But what really concerns is not the suspension itself, it's what it represents. Because let's be honest, sitting out against the Washington Wizards, a team with one of the worst records in the league, doesn't seem like a big deal at first glance. The Lakers still have the ability to win, still have enough talent to handle the game, but this is where the real problem begins. This was exactly the kind of game that fuels an MVP run. It was the perfect opportunity for Luka to dominate, stack numbers, draw attention, reinforce the narrative. And now he doesn't even step on the court. And while that happens, other players keep playing, keep scoring, keep being seen. And Luka simply stops. And when you combine that with what he himself said, the better I play, the more I drop in the rankings, you start to realize that something strange is happening, because that's not normal for someone at this level. And here comes the angle that very few people are considering. Maybe this isn't just about performance, but about perception, about narrative, about how the league, the media, and even the referees see certain players. Because the NBA works like that too. It's not just what happens on the court, it's what gets built outside of it. And now, place that inside the Lakers' context. Constant pressure, maximum expectations, the need for immediate results. Luka isn't just playing, he's being evaluated at all times. And this suspension, as small as it may seem, adds another layer to that pressure. Because now it's not just about coming back and continuing to play well, it's about how he responds emotionally, how he handles this situation, how this story will be told moving forward. And maybe, just maybe, this moment is much bigger than it seems. It could be just a small detail in a great season, or it could be the beginning of a silent shift in the direction of the Lakers. And I want to hear from you. Was this just a minor stumble or a sign of something that could directly impact the team's future? Drop your thoughts, because I want to understand what you're seeing. And if you truly follow the Lakers, stay here, because we're going to keep tracking every detail of this story that is far from over.
As a Lakers fan, being completely honest with you, this concerns me, but not for the reason most people are thinking. The suspension itself, that's small. It happens. One game doesn't define anything in a long season. What really catches my attention is the emotional and narrative context surrounding Luka. Because when a player starts saying things like, the better I play, the more I drop in the rankings, That shows he's feeling it. And when a player at that level starts to feel injustice or a lack of recognition, it can affect decisions, his attitude on the court, and even his future within the franchise. And being the Lakers, we know how this works. This isn't just basketball. It's pressure every single day. It's narrative, it's expectations, it's legacy. At the same time, there's a side of this that excites me, because the Luka we're seeing right now is dominant, at an absurd level, playing like a true franchise player. And players like that, when they go through moments of frustration, often come back even more dangerous. So for me, as a fan, this can go in two directions. Either he uses this as fuel and goes into an even more dominant mode, or this pressure slowly starts to wear him down. And that's where the Lakers come in. The franchise needs to protect this guy, needs to control the environment, needs to make sure he's focused only on playing. Because if Luka is mentally locked in, this team can compete with anyone. But if this narrative keeps growing, it could turn into a bigger problem down the road. Now I'll ask you as a fan too. Do you think this will motivate Luka even more, or is this the beginning of wear and tear?